So this is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Public Facilities Committee, and present at the beginning of the meeting is Counselor, what is Allison Leary. Vice Chair, Counselor Kalis from Ward 8, Counselor Kelly from Ward 3, Counselor Getz from Ward 5, myself, Susan Albright from Ward 2, and I think that's all for now from the committee. And we have our committee clerk, Lisa Fennell. Am I saying that right? Is that how you prefer it? Okay, I heard it said the other way, Pennell, and I wanted to be sure I was kept putting the fastest in the right place.
Is it Pennell or Pennell?
It's Pennell.
Pennell.
And we have John Dagley, and I see from DPW. Okay. So we can start with the first item, which is 185-25, President Laredo appointing Rehan, okay. Rehan Irani Family. Did I say it right? 117 Chestnut Street to the Citizens Commission. Oops, we have to fix that. It's now the Energy Commission. Well, do we have to amend that? Okay, we'll have to vote to amend that for a term to expire July 16th, 2028. So would you like to join us at the table? So what we usually do is ask the person who's being appointed to just say why they want to, a little bit about themselves and say why they want to be part of this commission, and then the committee members may ask a question or two.
Good, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, Mark, for the appointment, Susan. I'm Rehan Irani Family. I have been in the energy industry for a little over 23 years now. I'm an engineer by trade. And most recently, I was a vice president at National Grid for 8 years. And about a year ago, I left and started my business, which is a strategic consultancy focused on energy strategy, decarbonization, for large consumers. And as I have been transitioning away from the corporate into my own business, I have a newfound opportunity to contribute more to the community that I have been living in now for about 9.5 years, coming up to 10. And so talking to friends, I thought this would be a way that I can use my background and my expertise and experience to give back to Newton as the place that I call home. And so that's why I have signed up for this, and I hope that you'll give me your vote of confidence and I can contribute my expertise to the city.
Does anybody have questions or comments or anything? Counselor Kalis.
I do. So thank you for raising your hand to do this. This is great, and I think your background is wonderful. Do you have any advice for us when we're working with the energy companies on how to best work with them?
So I think hearing a little bit earlier, talking to them is probably, collaborating with them is probably my number one point. I think what I have found is often the conversations don't happen in not in a collaborative way, and not towards finding common solutions. And so if we worked with them to find common solutions, and if we were clear on our goals and what are the things that we're not willing to give on, I think we would have a great opportunity to make it better for our communities, and frankly, cheaper for all ratepayers, because that creates a lot of inefficiencies as well.
Thank you.
Council Leary, and then I'll get to you, Council Gans.
Yes, I just had a few minutes that I was able to speak with Rohana, and I was very impressed with your skills and your ability and your comments. And one of the things that I've been on this committee for many years now, and for the last at least 5 years, we've been really focused on our climate goals of decarbonization. And it's been kind of piecemeal, and this is the committee where all the grants and location come. And we're not really able to have what I'm asking for is we want to have a citywide plan and for an efficient way of identifying areas where we can decarbonize, whether that's geothermal or electrification neighborhoods pilots. And we're just starting that process right now. And so we're really looking for full transparency from National Grid and as well as Eversource, who is also a very important component of this plan, to meet both the state and local laws that require us to do that. So I would like to see more of this communication, more complete transparency, and a very close collaboration. Because this is, we all know this is going to be a very difficult transition. It's not going to be easy. You have to have a commitment. We have to look at the funding for it as well. And we don't want to have stranded assets where we're leaving a few people, usually lower income people, to pay the costs of methane gas use. So that's one of the things that I look to the Energy Commission for guidance on as well. And I'm really glad to have you on the commission to offer us this advice as someone who has actually worked with, been a vice president with National Grid.
No, absolutely, and I would tell you that this is not Newton, but globally, this is a challenge. So balancing affordability, reliability, resiliency, and clean energy, all of it at the same time, it is
And
costly.
safety is what the big word we always hear. Safety.
Exactly, yeah. But it can happen with innovation, ground up support, and using the talent that exists, previous colleagues here included. There is a lot of talent in this organization, so I think working with them, and being clear, definitely, we will make strides. It's not gonna be easy, but I'm looking forward to actually working.
I'm so glad to have you and the Energy Commission as partner in this.
Thank you.
Counselor Getz.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I was at a community meeting, so I'm zipping here to to my computer to be able to join our meeting. Thank you so much for stepping up, and I'm getting excited because it sort of sounds like you have the background, the expertise, and the vision that will be incredibly helpful for the team. So I want to thank you for actually volunteering.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate it.
Sure.
One of the things that Rahana said to me when we were chatting before the meeting was that I think you said you advise your customers that National Grid is not good at talking to the community, and which is, I found very reassuring because that's what they said too. That's what they want us to help them with, to talk to the community. So it feels like maybe we do have a good collaboration developing here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anybody else? Counselor Kelly, would you have a motion for us? Because I think Rahana lives in your ward.
Does.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't tell by the address what part of Chestnut that was on. I would be happy to make a motion to put forward her nomination for the Energy Commission.
So Counselor Kelly has moved approval. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any abstentions? Any noes? So that's unanimous. And here's Counselor Danberg. You just missed the vote on Rahana. But
Would you like to go back?
do we want to reconsider to give?
Well, shall I remake it and we can include Councillor Danberg in the vote? But I'd also just like to then mention, because I have another minute, I hope to meet you in person sometime, Ms. Irani Famili.
Yes. So could someone make a motion to reconsider? Since we're all on the prevailing side, anybody could make
We'll
it.
make a motion to reconsider.
Okay, so Counselor Leary has moved that we reconsider this vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now, Counselor Kelly, would you make your motion one more time?
I would like to make the motion one more time to accept this candidate for the Energy Commission.
And now we can vote. All those in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
So Councillor Danberg is from Ward 6.
So it's an even better vote.
So when this will go to the full council at our August meeting, which I think is August 11th. And you did not have to be at that meeting. So we'll tell you congratulations and thank you so much.
Perfect.
Unless you have no life.
You're welcome to
We'll take care of
stay
it.
at our meeting, but you don't have to stay if
Sure.
you have other
No,
things that.
I appreciate it and let me know about next week.
Okay.
Thank you for serving.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, our next item is 182-25. Oh, wait a minute, before I go, we have to amend, thank you, Lisa, I felt you staring at me. We have to amend this because they're no longer the Citizens Commission on Energy, we have to amend it to be the Newton Energy Commission. So would someone make that motion to amend?
So,
Okay, Councillor Danberg has moved that we change Citizens Energy Commission, Citizens Commission on Energy to the Energy Commission. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, good, we did that. So the next one, 182-25, Cellco Partnership doing business in Verizon Wireless. Petitioning for a granted location to install small cell wireless communication facility with associated equipment on the existing utility pole on the corner of Woodcliff Road and Boylston Street. The proposed wireless facility consists of one antenna housed in a cylindrical enclosure mounted at a centerline elevation of approximately 23.5 feet above ground level on a bracket attached to the west-facing side of the existing utility pole, and two remote radio head units on the bracket attached to the east-facing side of the utility pole, along with ancillary power and communications equipment, cables, and conduits. And that is the most detailed docket item I have ever seen on this topic. Whoever's speaking
Yes,
would like
thank
to
you.
join us at the table or stand or whatever
I'm
you
happy to
like.
do that. I don't want to turn my backs on
Yes,
anybody,
yeah.
but, so I'm Michael Jamo from Robinson Cole,
if
representing
you want to
Robinson.
sit here, you're welcome
Wireless.
to.
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much. Representing Verizon Wireless, my colleague Madeline Newman is here running the video, and Sean Conway from Verizon is also here to answer any questions that you may have about the proposal. You described the basics of the proposal. This is a small cell wireless facility. Your city has regulations that address the process for getting these approved. I submitted, as you said, a lot of materials, including a discussion of how we meet each of the standards that are in the regulations for these types of uses. The intent of this type of a facility is to provide coverage in a spot where there's either a lot of traffic or there's a small coverage gap or something. So it's not a big tower or a rooftop facility that covers a lot of area. This is, as it says, a small cell. It's going to cover a small area at a pretty important intersection from a traffic standpoint. And so it's going to add coverage and give people more reliability on the Verizon network in that area. The plans were reviewed, I know, by the city engineer, and there were a few comments. One was about the pole number. We do have a pole number now. And it's 474/9A, and we can submit that information to you, and that would be installed on the pole at some point. Would you like me to read through these requirements? That's what I thought you said, but I just wanted to make sure I asked. So do you have any questions for me about the project or anything you want me to focus on?
Mr. Dagling, do you have anything that you want us to know about this one?
We have no real concerns, just access to our streetlight will not be inhibited, so we're okay with it.
Okay,
Thank you.
and Councilor Kalis, was it you that was just asking about how do we get the more cell coverage?
Yeah, I think this is great because this borders on Ward 8 where we have a lot of limited coverage and a lot of drops. So I'm wondering what the radius is actually of this, number one. And number two, did you become aware of this because of complaints or how?
I can speak from up. John Conway with Verizon Wireless.
Sit on that side so you won't have your back to
You
the.
got it. Thank you.
Over here.
Oh,
That's fine, either one is. fine.
Musical chairs. All right, John Conway, Verizon Wireless, and to answer the question, this cell will reach out about a quarter mile from the location, as Mike mentioned, and not very large, don't send out a large signal, but it's to focus on that intersection there. I think that area gets a lot of traffic in the morning and in the evening time, so the capacity in the area becomes difficult to handle all the network traffic, not the car traffic that's on our system there. As to the adding of more cells, we're always monitoring the network for improvements, and certainly when complaints come in, we hear them, and we're always looking at them to improve the network.
Okay, I just wonder, could you give your information, your contact information to Miss Pennell?
Absolutely.
Just because we do have quite a bit of you know, just lack of coverage, holes in this area, and it'd be great to have somebody to ask questions about and make you aware of. So that's helpful. Thank you.
We'd love to collaborate with you guys on some locations that, we're certainly looking in Newton for locations too, and if there's places you guys can help us with, we'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Counselor Danberg is first.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for finding this location. We in fact do need coverage in a number of locations, and I'm going to speak up for Ward 6. I'm a Ward 6 counselor. We have on Beacon Street near Cold Spring Park / Zervas School, ZERVAS, constant dropped calls, 100% dropped calls when you go by that area. On Beacon Street, it's unconscionable to have dropped calls.
We're very familiar with the area. It's very difficult for us to locate anything in that area. And so we've had some issues there looking for real estate.
Now that I have Mr. Dagley and other people here listening, is it possible for us to put to have Verizon put their equipment, for example, on Zervas School? Because it's in the Zervas area where we drop all these calls. You may not have the answer right now, but let's at least consider this. And I would make the suggestion that Zervas be the location for their equipment so that we can improve this area. It's right in the middle of where all these calls are dropped.
We could certainly discuss that. And
Yes.
we may have solutions we're looking for in the area. These things don't happen overnight.
Yes.
We go out and try to find a location. It takes anywhere from 6 months to 10 years, depending on where it is.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
This is an area that cries out for coverage. Because there are so many homes in the area, and every time anyone drives down Beacon Street, the call gets dropped.
Just on this topic, we had this discussion before at this exact location, and there was equipment that was put on the pole. And even doing Dick Crossing was chaired this committee, the same thing, that was a real problem. I'm surprised it still is. I thought we had solved it. I remember people talking about it, concerned about the location because it was unsightly or something.
Right.
So this has been going on for years.
Yeah. Okay, we need coverage in that Beacon Street service area, because 100% of the calls that I make when I'm driving through, I have to tell people, oh, I'm going through and no call area, I'll call you later. And that's not acceptable. And it's not your fault.
We certainly don't like it either.
Yeah.
Counselor Getz.
Okay, so actually, Vicky, you stole my thunder because that's exactly, I travel that road multiple times a day. And it's a huge problem. The calls always drop when you're passing Zervas. So this really needs to be addressed at some point. And I think we even had a bit of a discussion in terms of, I mean, I think Mr. Yo had sent something. I'll circulate what I have, in terms of the feasibility of fixing the problem around Zervas, because there is some history to that story. The other piece I was going to say is the 70 Woodcliff is popping up as 62. So that just, in terms of the 70 Woodcliff address. So that's the way it's showing up for me. So this location is yours.
Move, approval,
When the time
that
comes.
when the time comes.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Thank you.
I think Council Leary, you're next.
Thank you. I was actually kind of curious on what this equipment will look like.
Sure. If you don't mind putting up that.
Oh, okay, I actually didn't see that. Okay. That was in our packet.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and I mean, I can kind of point to some things, but so here's. If you scroll it back a little bit lower, there we go, perfect. Okay, so here's the existing utility pole. It's going on an existing pole. That pole has a light, city light on it already.
Yeah.
The antenna is, as indicated, side mounted on the opposite side from the light and at a higher elevation. There is other equipment here, radio equipment, power equipment that's mounted on the face of the pole. There is I think it's a junction box for electric. There's a meter here, and there'll be, wires run down to connect all these items. The minimum height of that meter, I think, is 8 feet. And so this is very typical of the kinds of installations Verizon's been doing in, the ones they have in Newton, but also in other cities and towns around this area.
Okay, thank you very much.
Counselor Kelly?
Oh, thank you. I thought Councilor Kalis was in front of me. I realized that we're here to discuss this particular project at Woodcliff, but while we are all putting a pitch in for the other dead zones that affect us in our neighborhoods, mine is terrible, and I'm at like 95% drop calls for everyone, family members, constituents, neighbors, and had to put in a landline. And this has been going on for 8 years, not solved in 6 months to 6 years. So over here on the north side of West Newton, another pocket to please look at. I know we're not right near an elementary school like Zervis, though Franklin is just a couple blocks from here, as is Horace Mann, as is Craft Street, as is Albemarle, but I don't know. I thought I was in one of the rare pockets of dead zone, and it's so frustrating for me. And I'm starting to hear more and more from other people with that problem. But let's get back to the problem before us tonight and solve Woodcliff first. But I just wanted to go on the record saying over here, North Side, West Newton, Waltham Corner, really terrible cell reception also. So sorry to get off topic, but I just wanted to be sure I could get in there with the others on that. Thanks.
Counselor Kalis, your hand is still raised. Is that another?
It's another, yes. You guys, you didn't know what you're walking into tonight. But mine will be quick. It's Countryside and Newton South as well, but just so we all know, and we might want to docket something as a committee. I did look into this with Ms. Sullivan, and she said that we do need the school department's approval to put anything on the schools. I don't think we've ever talked about it with the school department, so we might want to do that as a docket item for all of us.
Okay, sounds good. I'll put in my page for Lowell in the high school.
Yeah.
Up in my neighborhood. So should we send, well, Lisa has all of these. Yeah, and then she can send you back all of these.
I get grid service in Ward 1.
Okay, so do we have any other questions or comments about this particular docket item? Okay, so does somebody want to move approval, Councilor Danver?
I move approval.
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions or anybody saying no? Okay, so that's unanimous. And I know we have some more Selco, and I'm sorry we didn't put them all on the same night. Will you all be back for the next meeting or not? Don't we have some
I have
Selco?
another one. I don't think you have another one.
Oh, it's AT&T. Never mind. But thank you for being willing to share your
Of course.
contact information with us.
I'll write it down here. Yes.
That's great.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute, guys. Public hearing. We never opened the public hearing. Okay, yes. So was anybody here?
Yes.
Was anybody here to speak on this item from the public? Anybody? I don't know if you're Peter, no. Okay, so we closed the public hearing since no one hates.
Move to close it.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 So the public hearing was open and closed and nobody was here to comment. Okay. Next item.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we might have you coming back soon, we hope. Some of these other locations.
Great. Thank you.
Would you, our National Grid friends, would you like to join us at the table? Sure. So our first item is 183-25. National Grid petition for grants for location to install and maintain gas main in Commonwealth Avenue, the intersection of Oakland Avenue at Commonwealth Avenue and Auburn Street. And you listed a bunch of locations and what you're doing there. Would you like to tell us anything more about this particular work? I believe, is this associated with the work that's going on now?
Yes.
Yeah, the construction.
Yeah.
Sorry, Madam Chairman, did they identify themselves to us yet with by name for those of us who are on Zoom?
They will introduce, as soon as they're ready to speak, they will introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Mary Mulroney, representing National Grid, requesting your consent to replace 310 feet of 12-inch coated steel dating from 1962 gas main in Palm Ave from Bridge N12010 to Oakland Ave with 310 feet of 12-inch plastic gas main. And also replacing 240 feet of 10-inch cast iron dating from 1915 gas main and 100 feet of 12-inch cast iron dating from 1927 gas main and 475 feet of 12-inch cast iron from 1927 gas main in Palm Ave from Oakland Ave to 2345 Commonwealth Ave, replacing it with 785 feet of 12-inch plastic gas main. Replacing 30 feet of 4-inch cast iron from 1915 gas main intersection of Oakland Ave and Palm Ave with 30 feet of 6-inch plastic gas main. Replace 75 feet of 10-inch cast iron dating back to 1915 with 185 feet of 8-inch plastic from 1982 gas main in Auburn Street from Commonwealth Ave to 594 Auburn Street with 260 feet of 12-inch plastic gas main.
And would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Tammy Saporito. I'm the Community Engagement Manager for National Grid.
Okay,
That covers Newton.
thank you. So questions about this one, anyone? So how does this relate to the, can you just tell us how this relates to the construction that's going on there now?
So with MassDOT requesting this, we have to move our main so that MassDOT can do their work, because otherwise it would be an encroachment.
So all of this has been requested from MassDOT?
Yeah, from MassDOT to us to move the main so they can provide the city of Newton with a new sewer or water main whatever they're putting in.
DOT, yeah, Mass DOT.
There, it's not a water and sewer, but it's new roads.
Yeah, new roads, I'm sorry, yeah.
I might be doing drainage.
Yeah, drainage.
Okay, okay, that's possible. Councilor Danver.
Yes, I know you're all aware, as are all of us and probably everybody in the room, that the city of Newton is trying to move forward into an era when we don't have gas. We understand that there is an issue on many streets of leaking gas mains that are killing trees and creating dangerous situations for homes themselves. My question to you is, with the understanding that that has been explained to us, that it sounds logical to me, that if it is an area, if it is a street that, where gas has to go down in order to get to another place. That, is a higher priority. But if it's a cul-de-sac or a dead-end street, for example, that the need to replace these is at a much lower priority because you're not replacing gas main that needs to send gas on beyond that area. Are any of these locations in that category where they are dead-end roads, roads that do not lead to anywhere?
It's all on Commonwealth Ave, and
Okay.
if the DOT is asking us to move it, we don't get an option, we gotta get it out of the way.
And it's only in certain sections that we're further off our existing main. That's why we're here for the grant.
Okay, and are any of these areas on Com Ave in areas that have been repaved within the past 5 years? And if so, why was this not brought to the city before we repaved the streets? Because we have a requirement that if a street has been repaved for 5 years, we can't open the street.
And we usually, internally, we have a
Yes.
list of things like that,
From
we
what,
don't approach it.
from what I understand, Grid is supposed to be working with the city, and I think is working with the city
We do.
to make sure that that happens. So I'm just asking you if any of these are outside of that agreement.
No, I believe this one was recommended from John might know more.
Mr. Dagnan
Mr. Dagnan.
has his hand raised.
Okay,
Would you-
so I'd like to hear from Mr. Dagnan, thank
Mr.
you.
Dagnan, you wanna?
Yes,
chime in?
none of the streets of Commonwealth Avenue, this portion have been repaved in the last 5 years. This is all driven by Mass DOT's reconstruction and the bridge replacement work that's coming up.
You all set then, Counselor Davis?
Yes, I'm set.
Counselor Kelly?
Thank you. I appreciate Counselor Danberg's kind of overview question. I used to live right near here. I understand that these roads were not repaved, but as she said, we're really trying to get away from replacing these pipes. Before I speak again as a committee member, I would like to wait myself to hear from, if Peter Barrer is there, I see him in the room, to speak to this, and Bob Persons, who I know lives right near here too. I would very much appreciate hearing their perspectives on this proposal. And then I'd like the chance to speak again after I hear from them.
We will open the public hearing in a timely fashion this time. Counselor Leary?
Yes.
So, in February 2023, the city of Newton passed a resolution, a future without gas and for clean heat. And part of that resolution included a citywide plan so that we could be more efficient, reduce emissions, and improve safety and accelerate the retirement of our gas infrastructure system. And this is no surprise to most people who know me here that I will not be voting for any grants of location to replace or increase gas until we have that citywide plan in place. So that's my position, and it has been for quite a while now.
Okay. So any other comments before we open the public hearing? Okay, let's open the public hearing, and is there anyone who would like to speak at this public hearing?
Thank you. I'm Peter Dyer, 60 Endicott Street. And thank you for the question. I really don't have much to say about this. There's old pipes. I wish we could get rid of gas right away. That's not happening right now. And I think if they're gonna dig up old pipes, they ought to put in new pipes. So I don't have anything to add.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else? Mr. Parsons, sorry. Go ahead. Just give us your name.
So I live, Bob Persons, 2396 Commonwealth Avenue, just across from the canoe rental, Paddle Boston. So we live right above the intersection that this is talking about. There don't seem to be any drawings in the agenda although there are a few million pages of Selco stuff. But I'm pretty sure that it is the piping right below where our house is on what we call Pigeon Hill, where Oakland and Evergreen Avenues will someday probably be good sites for electrification. But the pipes on Com Ave, I think, proceed from a regulator station down below us to Commonwealth Avenue and Auburn Street. And there are leaks down there, so I'm pretty sure that this proposed pipe replacement will solve that problem, which has been a problem for the last 30 years. So, and I think it does not pass a significant number of buildings that could be electrified. There are some apartments down below the hill, but not that many homes except for the ones on Evergreen and Oakland. So this seems like a reasonable request to me, and not one that would be a candidate for electrification as an alternative.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cooper, Connor, I'm sorry, it's hard to read from this distance. Mr. Connor, I'm sorry. Mess up your name.
Not a problem. I'm calling, I think, just with a request for clarification on 199-25.
Okay, if you could just tell us your name and address.
I apologize. John Connor, 135 Cornell Street.
Okay, well, we will get to 199-25. That will have its own public hearing. So if you can just hang in there, we'll get to that one and you can ask your question then. Is that
Very good. I'm premature. I'll disappear. Bye.
Oh, no, don't disappear. Councilor Danberg.
Is anyone ahead of me? Because I'm speaking for the second time.
I would like to say something and then you can
Okay.
speak. So, as we all know, as a committee, we're now engaged, we're gonna be jumping into a session with Eversource and National Grid who have proposed to electrify Newton and to set forth a planning process. And there's gonna be lots of obstacles to overcome as we move into that. So it will not be an easy nut to crack. But I think that National Grid is making an effort here to work with us on an electric future. And DOT has asked for this to happen. These are old pipes. They need to be replaced. As Mr. Person said, there's some of them that are leaking. And we don't want to have new pipes, brand new pipes, but I think we want to replace leaky pipes, especially because it might be 20 years before we get to the electrification of this particular part of the city. So that's just my take on it. Councilor Danberg.
Thank you. My husband and I have made sure to purchase just a few actions, whatever the word is, in National Grid. The word in Spanish is acciones. Stocks. Thank you. Stocks. Yes. A few stocks in National Grid, just so that we can be corporate gadflies, and make sure that our voices are heard. First of all, thank you for being willing to work with the city, and toward the ultimate goal of eliminating in the future gas from the city. What I want to make sure of is that you hear us every time you come to us, and thank you for being here, and thank you for sitting down and talking with us and hearing what we have to say. Newton wants to get rid of gas. As it's been said, and I understand to be true, the time frame is not 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years. It's probably out 20 years. So we do need to do what you're suggesting and replace the badly leaking pipes with new pipes, which we expect, although they will have a 100 or 200 year lifespan, we want to get rid of these in the next 20 years. And we're hoping that these pipes under the streets will just be abandoned. So, if there is a product that will only last 20 years, use it. Don't go for the gold here. Because we will be asking you every time we see you to, abandon these pipes as soon as they can be abandoned. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, Counselor Kelly, well, Counselor Kelly, are you wanting to make a motion? Should I call on Counselor Kalis first?
I was actually gonna speak my opinion and then I'll be happy to make a motion, which can wait till after Counselor Kalis speaks, just because I talked before and I appreciate having heard from Peter Barrer and Bob Persons. I would normally be with Counselor Leary on this and just voting against them all generally. But mainly my objective by doing that is to not increase unnecessary extensions of gas lines, especially for hookups for newer houses. In this case, I have been convinced, and I will vote in favor, which is unusual for me, tonight in favor of this particular motion. And I very much appreciate hearing from Mr. Barrer and Mr. Person. So thank you both very much. And I'll make a motion to approve pending more conversation at the table.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Kalis. Oh, well, Counselor Kalis and then Counselor Leary.
Yeah, I just want to say, I agree with everybody, actually. I'd like to not do this, but I know we have to do it. I thought, Chair Albright, you summed it up very well. I was glad to hear from the public, so I'm ready to vote on this as well.
Counselor Leary.
I just wanted to clarify briefly that putting a citywide plan in place will not take 20 years.
No.
So, and this is something I'd really like to see, because this is a cost to ratepayers. We're paying for that. This is gonna be a stranded asset. And I'm not convinced that we're doing everything as efficiently as we can. It seems like a reasonable ask here, but I'm gonna stick to my guns on this one, to make my point that I'm pushing for that citywide plan as fast as possible.
Okay. I just want to make it clear that what I meant, if I didn't say it clearly, was that the planning process will be 18 months to 24 months. But it may take 20 years to get the whole city
Oh, yeah.
off gas.
It's gonna take time.
And so we don't want this leaking pipe to be there for 20 years.
Right.
I think we didn't close the public hearing. I opened it, okay, but I didn't close it, so.
So moved.
Motion to move to close, or Kalis did.
Opposed, abstentions? Okay, so the public hearing is closed. All those in favor of Counselor Kelly's motion to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any opposition?
No.
One no. So I don't know how many of us are here, 6? 5-0.
Oh, sorry.
5-1. Okay, so that takes care of one of these. The next one is 198-25. National Grid petition for grant of locations to install and maintain gas main in Bacon Street as follows. And I'll let you describe it as described here, and I'll let you describe it as part of your statement. Okay.
National Grid respectfully request your consent for a grant of location as part of the cast iron main replacement program for approximately 380 feet of 3-inch cast iron dating back to 1899, approximately 5 feet of 4-inch plastic from 1989, and approximately 5 feet of 4-inch coated steel from 1985. Replacing it with approximately 309 feet of 6-inch plastic in Bacon Street from Washington Street to Pearl Street.
Okay, any questions on this one? Do we just open the public hearing and hear from the public? So we're opening the public hearing on this one. Mr. Bear, I know that people will want to hear from you.
Thank you. The only thing I have about this is not a dead end road, so it is a throughput road. And I don't want to get into the engineering aspect of that, although in the future I hope that we'll be able to do that. But what I did notice is that this, I'm wondering why you want to do this now. it was in the look ahead in your plan published in October to be done in 26 to 29. And what is the priority of this project, and why is it suddenly on our docket?
I would say, given the leak history and the age of the pipe, it's being requested that they can, contractors can come and do the job. It's not a big job.
It doesn't have a job. One of the problems we've had is that the work that gets done is often not proposed to the DPU for the year in which it was being done. And this is an example of that. This was looking ahead to 26, 29, and now they want the grant location now. And it's, I don't object, you know, I don't, she doesn't have the priority of this project. And I don't know if we have the priority number for it.
I have a note about, I believe I passed it on, how is the decision to replace versus repair? Says the decision is primarily driven for public safety, because the pipe is so old.
I understand, but doesn't National Grid assign a priority to each project? A priority for?
Yes, but sometimes it can come out of line, that we could do it ahead of time, or we could just push it back.
Okay, but you don't have the answer for this particular project.
What, no, why it came out now?
Okay, that's all I have to say.
Okay, is there anybody else? Go ahead, please, and just give us your name and address.
Dr. Enrique Rosero, 19 Garland, in Newton, Massachusetts. I have 15 years of experience in the industry, in oil and gas, and 2 years with utility, specifically National Grid. I work as a lead forecaster for the electric division, and I'm raised in opposition to keep granting grants of location to National Grid. My reasons are manifold, and I'll talk about two. One of the things that was said previously is that National Grid has a very good relationship with the community, and it's asking you to engage in those relationship building endeavors. But it's not because you guys try really hard to be transparent, be responsive, and be accountable. Mr. Barrett has previously shown how poorly detailed are your requests. They lack maps, they lack descriptions, and unlike what we saw for Verizon, they look incomplete. Perfect example was, why is this project being passed forward? Second reason is that I believe the National Grid is using the GSEP process to earn money as fast as they can. And in anticipation of changes in GSEP, they are fast tracking projects. And this can be the reason why this is moved from a priority from 2 years to now. The third reason is that the attempt of National Grid to work with us seems to me is a little of a facade of an attempt to collaborate, yet not doing really anything. So until they increase the level of transparency and accountability, I am inclined to not trust them. So therefore, I'm asking you to oppose this because it's counter to our climate goals, and you should keep on making a stand in favor of pushing this company to do what is best for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who wants to speak? Anybody online? And by the way, I just noticed that Councilor Maliki joined us at some point earlier. Sorry that I didn't catch that before. So nobody else? So I think we can close the public hearing. All those in favor of closing the public hearing? Aye. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, so we're back in committee. Any comments?
This is in Ward 1.
Oh, it is? Well, somebody else is gonna have to make that that
I'll make a
motion.
motion to deny, but not to.
Oh. Word 6 is close to word 1, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Counselor Danberg has moved approval. Any other comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
Two opposed. That's 4 and 2. And abstentions, no abstentions. Okay. Okay, the next one, do you have an amendment for us on this one?
I have like a verbal amendment because you requested that the cul-de-sac be removed and relooked at.
So I'll read it into the record and then you can give us your
Okay.
amendment.
That's perfect.
This is 199-25 National Grid petition for grant of location to install and maintain gas main in Grove Street, Colgate Road, and Hager Street as follows, and it's described. So would you like to tell us what your amendment is that you're proposing?
National Grid received a request from Councilor Susan Albright from the city of Newton, requesting that the 420 feet of 4-inch bare steel dating back to 1948, replacing with 420 feet of 4-inch plastic in Colgate Road from Grove Street to the end of Main at 15 Colgate Road, and approximately 180 feet of 2-inch coated steel dating back to 1961, and replacing it with approximately 180 feet of 4-inch plastic in Hagar Street from Grove Street to the end of Main at 17 Hagar, be removed from the grant request. And it was said that per the council, some citizens were raising concern of the segments of the area because it's a dead end street in the cul-de-sac like you had suggested. And so National Grid is redoing a plan right now. It's with the engineers, and they're gonna review that section to see if it is totally necessary. I just wanna ask, like, the citizens, are they the residents of the street as well?
No, so are you ready to, let me explain how this happened.
Okay,
Yeah, and so I received a call from Mr. Bear, a resident expert on grants of locations, who pointed out that Colgate is a dead end. And as I think we've talked about here before, and National Grid has now sent us a list of 19 streets that are this kind of street, a dead end street.
Yeah.
For us to look at as a pilot program for electrification. And since this was a dead end street, shouldn't we add this to that list? And I called Amy Smith, who said yes, that we could do that. And Hager, she said, after Mr. Bear pointed out that Hager was also a dead end street, that we could look at both of them to be removed.
right.
So the question to you is, do you want us to hold this until you've got your new plan done?
Well, you probably would like to because engineering has to redefine the scope.
Yeah, so Mr. Daglian,
I just wanted to point out that Colgate Road is a private way and the city has no jurisdiction over that road.
so does anybody have to give permission?
The abutting property owners that live on that street.
Have they been asked permission?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, because we would like the opportunity to ask those people if they're interested in electrification. We're adding them to the list of houses to look at, so
That's
before you ask them, we'd like to ask them too.
So are you gonna be asking them soon?
Yes.
Okay.
The suggestion was made, and I'll just tell you the conversation that I had with Amy Smith today was, and the 2026 GSEP plan goes in October. And she said if we could find the streets that we want to add to abandon, the leak-prone pipe that we want to abandon by mid-September, they could go into the GSEP plan and give us the opportunity for National Grid to help fund the electrification. Because they're allowed to spend 0.5% of their, instead of the 3% that it used to be allowed for pipe replacement. Now they're allowed to spend 2.5% with 0.5% going for electrification. So she said if we could manage to make our decisions by mid-September, they would put it into the 2026 GSEP plan and it would help these whoever it is that ends up agreeing to this, pay for it. So I think we need to hold this.
When the time comes, I will move to hold. And, I think my question is to Mr. Daglian. Mr. Daglian, can DPW submit to us, at public facilities, a list of all the streets in Newton that are dead ends or cul-de-sacs, so that we know what these streets are in advance of September, whatever the date is?
Yes, we can compile that list and we can give you a list of both public and private streets.
Great.
And just for clarification, Hager Road is a through road. It's not a dead end street.
So I think I'm officially asking that DPW do that so that we can have that list in
Yeah,
time.
correction, thank you, Councilor Danbury, good idea. But correction on that, it's not that it's a dead end street, it's that the capped off gas pipe.
Capped off gas pipe.
Yes, that's what
Yeah, I thought I heard someone say it's a dead end street.
I said that, I was wrong.
I don't know if he knows which pipes are capped off.
Do you know that, Mr. Daglian?
When the gas company submits their plans, that's when we are aware of it. For public safety, those maps are not public record.
So can we find out from Ingrid what the capped off streets in Newton are? Do you have the ability to pull that info out?
Well, they did,
Engineering, when they redefine the scope, they can probably explain which ones are, if like Colgate Road's a cul-de-sac, it's dead-ended, so to speak. But he said Hager Road is a.
it's not, it's a throughway, but the pipe isn't throughway.
It's
Right.
us.
Right, that's why we need Mr. Barron to be looking over our shoulders. So, we can, Councilor Kelly,
Yeah, I had raised my hand and then I'd taken it down. I was going to make a motion, but I wanted clarity on the motion first. Are we going to hold the entire item from on the first part of it from Moulton to Cornell as well as Colgate and Hager? Or are we moving forward tonight on the first part?
I think we have to
Hold the entire item?
you can read, National Grid can redo their plan.
Great.
Well-
I was going to make that motion just as the neighboring Ward 4, considering I'm in 3, but Councillor Danberg already wanted to do that. So now I understand we're going to just hold the entire, all components of this one item.
So can I just have clarification, did you want us to hold the whole thing or not?
No, if we wanted to do the section that is here, then in addition, if we ever needed to, we would have to bring forth another grant of location.
So,
Engineering is redesigning the scope
To remove.
to remove them. It's only to remove
okay,
so that you have the
okay.
correct plans.
Mr. Daglian, are you comfortable with that?
Yes, and we'll just need a traffic management plan with this one and all the other filings.
Okay, so that, which part of it are we keeping? The Grove Street part?
Yes, stop after Canal Street.
So, and take away the Colgate and take away the Hager?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just that one piece that we would be voting on tonight. Does that change anything that you wanted to do, Councilor Kelly?
Well, I think you're going to perhaps need 2 motions then. One motion on the first part of this and the other motion to hold those other 2 parts of it as a separate item. Is that right?
I think we'll have to split this item.
Yeah.
Make it parens 2. And so this item, original item will keep the Cornell to Moulton.
The first bullet.
2 would be the other pieces, which we will hold.
Okay. Well, I agree with the hold item. So thank you, Councillor Danberg, for making the motion on that.
But I would be happy to allow Councillor Kelly from Ward 3 to make the motions on Ward 4, since I'm Ward 6.
Well, I'm going to vote against the first part, so it's probably better for that to come from someone else.
Okay.
So
good.
I'm in favor of your hold items.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
so Councillor Danberg has moved approval on. Oh, thank you, thank you. We have to open the public hearing.
Public hearing.
Who, is there anybody that would like to speak? Yes.
I join you at the table?
Sure.
First I want to celebrate, the work chair, alright, with working with National Grid and their cooperation in removing these streets from GOL. This is, I think, the first that I know of where this has happened across the state. And thank you. And thank you for cooperating. It's an example of how we need to work together. But I want to thank goodness for the GOL process, because if this was not a GOL, this would have just gone right through. And the open review process that the GOL forces has given you the leverage to have this conversation and the leverage with National Grid. It will save ratepayer money. My estimate is $360,000 for the average cost of this project for the rest of the streets. If you don't include the net salvage value, which came up at the PPU hearings, which would raise it to $550,000 saved of ratepayer money. Unfortunately, most pipe replacements in Newton do not get this open review. And this must change. I'm thinking of Pine Ridge Road, where Councilor Getz lives. They're still working on that street. That street did not get a grant of location request. It did not appear as specifically in the GSEP plan. I think it was in the GSEP plan, but the GSEP plans are not complete enough for the city to know what the streets are. So she had no ability, and it's her street, to influence what's going on. National Grid could provide this information, and I hope that it will be provided as a matter of course as we go ahead with the mutual planning process. And with such information, Newton has a shot of repeating what happened tonight in many other places across the city. But I'm concerned that legislation may be needed. And Senator Cream and Representatives Sangiolo and Schwartz have introduced bills to require a much more open process from the gas companies, and also give the city much more leverage, not just talking, but leverage to stop something that the residents don't want.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that wants to speak? Please go ahead. You know, put your name and address.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Gordon, 19 Garland. Want to? Oh, otherwise the camera doesn't, I'm not speaking loudly. My name is Lindsay Golden. I live at 19 Garland. I want to thank Councilor Danberg for the statement that we want, as residents of Newton, want to turn off the gas. Thank Councilor Leary for putting her foot down and refusing to give any grants of location until National Grid gives plans. Speak up. Okay, until National Grid gives plans. Anyone who has worked in a corporation knows that it's totally possible for National Grid to be giving this information as a matter of course. You have it in databases, you have it anywhere. So in order to show good faith, the city of Newton, I urge National Grid to do a better job, a consistent job of giving the information we are requesting, such as the Pinecrest, Pine Ridge, for the example that Peter just showed, other examples where they are incomplete, where we do not understand why you were doing what you were doing. These are our streets, this is our community. You are here providing a service. You need to do it in a way that is in the interest of Newton and show us that you are actually acting in good faith. You can do it. Please go forward and do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? No? Anybody online? No. Would Mr. Connor want to speak? Oh, Mr. Connor, this is your chance. There you go. Just tell us your address again. Oh, wait a minute, he's muted. Wait 1 sec.
Unmute again. So we are still at 199-25.
Yes, we are.
Great. Can somebody draw me a map for this first portion? There's a request for 1,400 feet. I'm trying to figure out whether, and it appears to be connecting Grove Street to Moulton. And the only way to do that is to go all the way through Cornell Street. But I may be misunderstanding, so I'm just trying to understand, oh, where are these 1,400 feet going?
Do you have a map that you can share with us?
I do, but National Grid, is restrictive of where their maps go right
Could you
now.
describe it for us?
Sure, it's on Grove Street, and it's from Cornell all the way down to, Route 6, well, not shy of Route 16. That's,
So is the pipe 100% on Grove Street?
yes, and then, Colgate, and Hager go off.
Off of that,
Yes.
Does that help
Right.
you? Connor?
It absolutely helps me. I've got no further comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So you're not allowed to share those maps with us?
No, oh, no, with you, yes. How,
It goes to public works.
in public work,
Public Works
obviously,
sees
but
it.
for it to go out in the community, no, because it shows all our valves.
It's critical.
It's critical.
Okay.
It's
Safety,
perfect.
public
Safety,
safety.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we never see the maps, because everything we do is public.
Yeah, no, but I do send them to you.
Yes, but we don't see them
Oh,
as
okay.
counselors because everything is public that
Oh,
goes on our
okay.
website.
Right.
Oh,
And everything, we sit with Public Works on a monthly basis and go over what we are planning, what they are planning. If we have to shift our projects, their projects, depending on conversations. And that's why dealing with Public Works, we're not just coming to Newton.
Got it.
They do know
Yeah.
what's planned.
and the originals are already left in with, Lisa now and Cassidy. There's always plans in the office downstairs across the hall.
So we could go into the office and look at them there,
Correct.
but they can't be posted.
Correct.
They're also posted on the city website. I can read all those plans.
I do upload them on the city
Oh,
website.
that's right.
For
They're in
grand
For
location.
the Granger location, yeah, which,
When it's a grand location,
Yeah.
I can read it.
Okay,
Other times, no.
okay, got it. So if we followed this link that you put in our agenda, we would see the plans. Okay. All right, now that that's settled, Council Danberg, you made a motion, did you make a motion?
If not, I will make it again or for the first time to approve.
Could I just make,
Of-
please?
Yes, of the request for grant of location on Grove Street, removing Colgate Road and Hagar Street.
So we have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, so we have a motion, you have a comment.
Yes, I just want to follow up on Mr. Barr's comments about grants of location and when they come into play and when we don't see them. And maybe that's another discussion, but I wanted to raise it here that it's something I like. I think I've been asking for that information. It's never been clear to me why some except basically saying how close the pipe is to other city infrastructure.
No, it's not close to the pipe, the new pipe is to the old pipe.
New pipe to the old pipe. So I'm wondering if we should rethink that and have more of that coming before us as a member of public record with the grants of location, especially as now we're looking at new opportunities. It would provide more information to inform us about our ultimately having our citywide plan for a comprehensive approach to how we gradually transition off gas safely and without cutting off service to the customers. So I just wanted to raise that, and there is important in legislation. I'll add one more. Representative Armini from Marblehead also has a bill that would include interveners, people that would also participate and get that information. And this is stuff that she filed that bill 2 years ago. So this is something that we really need to move on. And the reason why I'm being intransigent about what I'm because this has been going on for years and we've been talking about it. So now I think it's the time where we really need to put our foot down and say, we need a plan because this, except for like a real emergency, I understand. We need to move ahead with actual on actual plan to be efficient and effective and insist on complete transparency.
A question for you guys at National Grid. Do other communities have the same rule, the 2-foot rule? That if the pipe is 2 feet away from the old pipe, you don't have to come for a granted location? Is that the same in every city you
Yeah,
have?
it varies.
Oh, it
City and town.
varies.
Yep.
So are there any cities in
Some
town
further.
that say all requests have to go through the granted? There's no city like that.
It's usually 3 feet.
3 feet?
And I have some cities and towns that, we meet with their public works, we review what we need to do, they review what they need to do, go through the scope, the work that's planned, and there's very rarely a granted location.
Okay. Interesting to know. Okay, so did we vote?
No.
No, we have to vote on on Councilor Danberg's first motion on the original item. And then we'll vote on the parents too. So all those in favor, and that was to approve the 1,400 feet in Grove Street. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed?
No.
We have 2 abstentions? No, so 4 and 2 again. And then we have a motion to hold on the other 2.
So
So Councilor Danberg has moved that we hold this, the parens 2 of this, which includes the streets that will be removed from this granted location request. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
Just for the record, we have a motion to split the 2 as well.
Good point. Now that we voted on the split.
I will move to split into A and B, Grove Street and Colgate and Hager.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that one's done. So this next one, I'm gonna read it into the record, but it has a story attached to it as well. 200-25, which is National Grid petition for granted location to install and maintain gas main in Washington Street as follows, and it's on Kempton Place. So when I saw this, I knew that it had to do with the new Dunstan East project. And I thought, oh my God, here we are trying to remove gas, and here's a request to put in new gas. So I asked Robert Korf for who can I talk to at the Dunstan East project. He gave me the name of this man, whose first name is Eli. I can't pronounce his second name. At first, he was hesitant. He finally called me back and said, well, why do you care if I use gas or electric? So I thought, what is rock has he been living on? Then I explained it to him, and he called me back and said that he's considering it, but he couldn't decide by today. Then he called me, we talked today again, and he said he is seriously considering removing his request for new gas and instead going to electrification, but he has to talk to Eversource and find out if they can give him what he needs in a timely fashion. So I called our new friend, Chris Comack from Eversource, and said, can you help get this information to this man as quickly as possible? And we will hold this item tonight while he's deciding whether he can just do electric or not.
Move to hold.
That's fantastic.
So Councilor Kelly has moved hold, and hopefully we can take it up again on our meeting that we planned for the 28th of July. And thank you, everybody.
Hearing too.
Okay, I guess we can have the public hearing open, but, okay, so, yes. And let me just finish that sentence. If we hold this, it will go to the 28th of July for that meeting, and give that conversation a chance to happen between this project and Eversource. So we'll open the public hearing. Does anybody want to speak?
First, thank you for this intervention too. I appreciate it. I just had a question for National Grid, which in your proposal, who pays for the new pipe? Is this paid for by the developer, or are you putting it into the rate base?
No, it would, if there's charges related to what he would need to supply the load, he would end up paying for it.
But you're also putting in a new pipe in Kempton Place.
You would pay for
You pay for this, so
Right.
there's no.
Because it's only to serve his project.
it, right?
Thank you.
Is there anybody else?
Thank you, that was great. That made my day,
Okay.
possibly my week.
State your name and address.
Oh, sorry. Lindsay Golden,
Still.
still at 19 Garland, and you still made my day.
Okay.
Possibly my week, thank you.
Okay, so, oh, yes, please go ahead.
So with the government, I would like to congratulations for your intervention. I was
I
very
don't know if it was
useful.
there.
Even the attempt is useful. However, it begs us the question, why National Grid that has an arm that is called customer engagement, or what do they call it, big customer outreach or something like that? They reach out to big customers and they say, do you want to have business with us? We don't propose those things to them, even though they have future of electric, the future of heat, the whatever new reorganization names they have. There is no interest in you to turn down the client. And this is shown over and over. It shouldn't be hold to us to look for solutions for a client when you have the capability to provide those alternatives.
We gave the gentleman the information that he has alternatives. He signed it, that he read it. That's by the rules, all we have to do. And the fact that it was not a brand new, it was an extension of Gasme. It's not a fully
No,
brand
not,
new survey, because you have the fossil fuel rules, and we know that, we stop people before they come to us.
yeah,
So we're trying to work with the cities, and there's 10 in total, I believe, cities and towns in Massachusetts
yes,
that have the fossil fuel rules.
yes.
So we're learning and we're telling people, some of the developers and some of the individuals are not aware of it.
So you are turning people away now?
Oh, we have no choice.
Yes.
We have a document, we have to give it to them, here's your options. And if it's a completely new service, we say, we cannot take the order
Right.
unless the city or town that you're doing this in gives you a waiver.
Yeah. Good.
And we explain it, so
Yeah.
our whole customer group has been, once all the bids were put into effect and approved, we have to come up with documentation and be able to communicate that to the consumer, because again, some of them aren't even aware of it. And they may live in the area that has it, so.
I understand that part of this project is also on private street. So have you already asked those people?
I believe it's just that, his
It's just
building.
him,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
so we only have to deal with him,
And my
okay,
understanding from what we have from the developer, he is doing a lot of electric already.
yes, they promised in the 40B, I went and looked up their sustainability promise, and it said all the residential is electric.
Yeah.
But they made no promise about commercial. So this is for the commercial part, and it's for grills and fireplaces.
Yes, and that's the thing, if they're trying to cook a lot of, that's a moot point on cooking with gas. or
But he's
something.
willing to go electric if
Right.
Eversource can do
Can
it.
do it.
So anybody else on that speaking at the public hearing? So motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? And now we need the motion to hold. Did somebody make it?
Motion to.
Counselor Leary's made the motion to hold. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, and that concludes our work tonight. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.